morning, guys. Once again, earnings season, a lot going on. So let's talk about a couple of things that we can, I guess, keep our eyes on. Okay. For starters, let's look at the financials. You had Morgan Stanley and Wells Fargo this morning, two major components coming out, big impact. Both came out strong. Both beat earnings, both shot up, both then turned around and sold off. Wells Fargo still down. Morgan Stanley sold off, bounced back up, never really went down, was kind of strong. Futures are down now 380. They've been down as much as 8, right? 8 and change maybe even on the futures. So what's the market looking to do? First, it's looking to screw everyone, right? You're long, you're short. It wants to take advantage of you in a bad way. That's the first goal of the market, right? Today will be no different than every other day. That's its goal. The only difference during earnings season is it's so volatile, usually in both directions, it could screw you if you're long or if you're short, sometimes both. So the first thing we do is we're going to be a little careful in how we go out and execute stuff. Right? During earnings season, I rarely get very large in size when I'm taking a position on something that's an anomaly. If Wells Fargo is selling off and I short Wells Fargo, I could take it with size and sell it and write it down. But if Wells Fargo spikes up and I short it, rarely do I take a large position of Wells Fargo in that trade, even though I expect it to come in, because it's just as, well, I wouldn't say it's just as likely, but there's a likelihood of it exploding on the upside. And since I'm really going against the market, against the trend, I don't have that in my favor. It's a recipe for disaster if you're wrong. So, that being said, I'm definitely keeping my eyes on the stocks that are in play. I'm putting out a lot less things off of the open this morning than I regularly would. Not because I don't like the trade, but because I see a lot of advantage to be looking for the stocks that had news specifically and see how they're reacting. Remember yesterday I discussed with everybody the idea that you want to see how the stocks gap, or you want to see what they do that's going to help determine everything. That's what we're looking to do, in the market as we see the opening. So you're going to look at, stocks like Boeing, FCX. These guys had earnings. They reacted one way, or you expected them to react one way. Let's say they don't, or let's say they change course. So, Boeing was down to $1.50 this morning. Now Boeing is down 99. It was down 50, basically a minute ago. Okay? If Boeing reverses trend and goes positive, well, there's probably a long play in Boeing, right? Totally goes the opposite way. Likewise, you've got your stocks like Wells Fargo, which this morning was up and then turned around and died. Obviously those are some of the best short plays that you can pick up, in these types of plays. A lot of stocks had earnings, from Manpower, MAN to St. Jude's, and I'm looking at certain things to see how they're going to react to yesterday's strength. So I'm looking at BlackRock, I'm looking at Apple, I'm looking at Potash and the rest of that sector, and I'm looking at some of those type Caterpillar. I want to see if these guys are going to show weakness off of yesterday's strength. If the overall market's going to sell, then that's what's happening. What we've been seeing is a selling of large earnings plays. Things gap up, we've been seeing them sell down. We've been seeing a lot of things sell down as they gap, right? So what I think we're looking at over here is to see what's going to gap look to sell, and the overall market. Yesterday the overall market was strong before it sold, right? Today we're down. Now granted, we're closer to the highs of everything that we're looking at, but we're definitely not as bad as we were, but we're still weak. So I'm going to use this market still to short the rallies until proven otherwise. We don't see a lot of selling pressure, but we definitely don't see any buyers in here right now. So until the buyers come in, I'm going to use it to sell that stuff. However, I'm going to be cautious about that one thing I keep saying, which is if you're seeing the reversal of trend of the stocks that had earnings, the weak stocks go strong, get on the bandwagon, jump on them. On the upside. Okay, Eve?